Honorable Dr. Parnival Thiagarajan, Minister for IT and Digital Services, Government of Tamil Nadu, India, His Excellency Shri B.N. Reddy, High Commissioner of India, Kuala Lumpur, my good friend, Mr. Sri Kanvi, CEO of ICT Academy, fellow colleagues, educators, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very good morning to everyone. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome all of you to BRIDGE'25 conference here in Kuala Lumpur, a gathering of minds and visions that share a common purpose to empower the next generation through education, innovation, and global partnerships. Today's theme, Empowering Tomorrow, AI, Skills, and Global Competence, could not be more relevant as we navigate a world shaped by rapid technological change, evolving global dynamics, and the increasing demand for adaptable, future-ready talent. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to the universities and colleges from India who have joined us today. Congratulations. Your presence reflects the deep-rooted friendship and educational ties between our two nations. We are delighted to host you and look forward to engaging in meaningful dialogue, sharing insights, and exploring opportunities to co-develop impactful solutions for our higher education. Just to share with all of you, I myself have actually been to India in Delhi, had meeting with the UGC of India and also with the Association of the Indian Universities, AIU. We have actually talked a lot more in terms of how we can collaborate, how we can actually work together in elevating the quality and standard of our education sector, both in Malaysia and in India. We welcome that, and inshallah, Malaysia also will be going to India with the universities to have a discussion, B2B, in terms of how we can discuss and collaborate between the two countries. Today, we also have 14 of our top universities in Malaysia, each committed to delivering high-quality education, building global connections, and nurturing talent for the digital future. These institutions reflect the spirit of collaboration and progress for the betterment of our higher education. Ladies and gentlemen, currently Malaysia is home to over 140,000 international students from more than 180 countries, with India ranking among the top 5, to be exact, number 4 in Malaysia. Students are drawn not only by our affordability and safety, but also by the strength of our academic programs in fields such as engineering, data science, and artificial intelligence. Just to share, based on the latest data from EMGS, India is currently among the top 10 countries for student application to study in Malaysia. This positive trend continues to grow, reflecting the strong interest from Indian students in pursuing higher education in Malaysia and the deepening educational ties between our nations. Currently, Malaysia offers a graduate pass. This is a very, very new that I think is being announced for international students who have completed their studies here in Malaysia. This social visit pass allows graduates to stay in Malaysia for up to 1 year after graduation. During this time, they can travel within the country and explore work opportunities. It's permitted in permitted job sectors. Currently, this opportunity is extended to graduates from 32 countries, and we are pleased to share that India is proudly among them. You can actually work in Malaysia for 1 year. You can actually progress for the next level of the studies in that 1 year while waiting for the next progress. And the last part is the best. You can stay in Malaysia 1 year, do nothing. For the parents, they are just making the money of the father goes up. Malaysia is always happy to welcome students from India and around the world to experience our world-class education in a warm, inclusive, and multicultural environment. I believe studying abroad is also about friendships, understanding different cultures, and developing the global skills that will shape a brighter future for all. Ladies and gentlemen, Malaysia and India share a long-standing relationship in education, trade, and cultural exchange. Today we see tremendous potential in transnational education, T&E, from dual degree programs to research collaborations, joint campuses, and digital learning platforms. Hence, we invite higher education institutions and stakeholders from India to explore greater partnerships with Malaysian universities. In closing, we envision a future where artificial intelligence is more than just a tool for innovation. It becomes a powerful enabler of equal access to education, personalized learning experiences, and smarter data-informed policies that support communities and help close the digital divide. We envision the future of our students is about purpose. It is about giving them the tools, the confidence, and the global mindset to thrive in a world where change is the only constant. Let us all work together to build that future. I wish you a productive and inspiring BRIDGE'25 conference. That's why we need BRIDGE to connect this. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah, and have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Nurdi Tajuddin, for your inspiring words. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to invite His Excellency Shri B.N. Reddy, High Commission of India, Kuala Lumpur, to give his diplomatic address. Please turn your attention to the screen for a short introduction.
Shri B.N. Reddy, High Commissioner of India, Malaysia. Shri B.N. Reddy, an accomplished officer from the 1993 batch of the Indian Foreign Service, has served India with distinction across continents. He carried forward India's strategic and cultural diplomacy. With insight and dedication, he built strong partnerships that resonated across sectors. His presence brought depth and direction to India's international collaborations. At the Ministry of External Affairs, he served as chef du cabinet to the minister at the heart of critical global decision-making. Later, he led the International Cooperation Division in the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. His leadership there fostered energy diplomacy and global partnerships. As an academic achiever, Shri B.N. Reddy holds degrees from BITS Pilani and IIT Mumbai in engineering. His journey from science to statesmanship reflects a rare fusion of intellect and service. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Shri B.N. Reddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome His Excellency.
Thank you very much, Madam MC, for your very kind words, and it was a very generous introduction of me. Thank you. Honorable Minister of IT and Digital of the State Government of Tamil Nadu, Dr. Thiru Palanivel Tyagarajan, sir. My very good friend, Mr. Novi Tajuddin, Executive Officer of the Education Malaysia Global Services, popularly known as the EMGS Malaysia. Mr. V. Srikanth, CEO of the ICT Academy. Madam Srimati Shivshankar, Corporate Vice President, HCL Technologies, and Mr. Arun Rajendran, the Country Head of HCL Technologies in Malaysia. Professor Dato Haji Najruddin Abdul Jalil, Chairman of the IEG Campus in Malaysia, and of course Mr. Tamil Selvam, who are doing very important, I would call, the pioneering work in training several Malaysians in very important sectors. My colleague Dr. Vivekanand, First Secretary in the High Commission, friends from the very large number of universities from India. I think I understand there's 70 representatives who are attending from universities in India. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Namaskar, Salam Sejatra, Vanakkam, a very good morning to all of you. It is indeed a great pleasure to join you today in the presence of the Honorable Minister of IT and Digital from the state of Tamil Nadu at the inaugural international edition of the BRIDGE, the flagship conference of the ICT Academy of India, which is held, as we all know, I think by now, for the first time outside India. And what a better place that you've chosen than Kuala Lumpur. A thriving hub of technology, innovation, and digital aspiration in Southeast Asia. On behalf of the High Commission of India, let me take this opportunity to once again extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Thiru Palanivel Tyagarajan sir, Honorable Minister of IT and Digital of Tamil Nadu. It is indeed heartening to see how the leadership of India from the state government of Tamil Nadu are paying that attention that is much desired for nurturing the next generation of talent, not just in Tamil Nadu but also overseas, and particularly in Tamil Nadu, Malaysia. Malaysia is very special in the hearts of Indians, particularly also again I would say from the state of Tamil Nadu, because we have the second largest diaspora in the world. Indian diaspora is in Malaysia, of which a large number of them, over 80% I think, are Tamil speaking. I also extend my congratulations to ICT Academy for launching this flagship conference in Malaysia. Over the years, we've just heard also the BRIDGE has emerged as a very important confluence of policy, academia and industry, fostering dialogue and partnership to meet the challenges of a rapidly evolving digital world. In fact, more I've learned about the ICT Academy, more it inspires me. And also the fact that several of my very distinguished colleagues in the Indian Administrative Service, IAS, have been members of this, the board. I think it's really heartening to hear all that. In fact, we call ICT Academy has emerged as a shining example of the public-private partnership, which includes the government of India, state government, particularly today the state government of Tamil Nadu, members of industry, NASSCOM. As you can see, there are several of them listed in on the board. It actually drives home the importance of a multi-stakeholder-led initiative, which is the need of the hour, particularly in the context of strengthening what we call industry-academy partnership. My conversations with the leadership of Malaysia at several levels does always emphasize about the industry-academia partnership. And more so, it is not pure academia we're talking about. We need these institutions which have developed these unique skill sets, unique experiences, of able to prepare the students to become industry ready. I think this is where I see great potential for ICT Academy and its ventures in Malaysia. And I'm glad to see that you have partners like IEG Campus and others who are joining you in this. I think they've also done quite a lot of pioneering work in Malaysia. In fact, after ICT Academy's successful, I would call operations in almost most of the states in India, especially Tier 1, of course, Tier 1 is always covered, Tier 2 and Tier 3 towns. And successful partnership with global technology leaders, as I understand, includes Microsoft, Honeywell, Google, Salesforce, Oracle, and Amazon. I think there are several of them. I'm very happy that now ICT Academy is in Malaysia, and they've chosen Malaysia as their first destination outside India, and I'm very confident that this experiment will take really shape in the coming weeks and months. I also recognize that the international edition of the ICT Academy is a recognition of Malaysia's own aspirations and achievements in building a future-ready digital ecosystem. Honorable Minister and friends, this conference comes at a time of renewed momentum in India-Malaysia relations, particularly in the domains of digital cooperation, innovation and skills development. Here, I'd like to highlight some of the recent achievements so that you understand the backdrop or the context in which this conference is happening, the bridge is happening. India and Malaysia have elevated their bilateral relations to what we call as a comprehensive strategic partnership during the visit of Honorable Prime Minister of Malaysia, Yang Amat Berhormat Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim to India in August 2024. I call it as a very transformative development. There are two reasons for this. One, there are very select countries with which India has elevated its relationship to the comprehensive strategic partnership. And there are a handful of them, I think 6 of them, and Malaysia is one among. And so it's important recognition that we have given at least At the leadership level, I would say both countries have recognized this need for elevating, which opens the door for collaboration in several areas, and particularly so in areas of core importance to both countries. This historic visit of Honorable Prime Minister of Malaysia to India, both governments have reaffirmed the commitment to both sides, I would say, commitment to strengthen collaboration in digital technologies, including digital public infrastructure, DPI, and I'm sure you have an opportunity today to talk about DPI, cloud computing, AI, IoT, cybersecurity, among many others within the digital technologies, but also in areas like semiconductors, startups, and fintechs. These are the areas which the both governments felt are going to be our future elements of cooperation. The answer is very simple. It's because all governments are working towards enhancing the role of digital economy into the larger economy of the country. And Malaysia has the aspiration to go up to 25.2% by end of the year. And I'm very confident that with the collaboration such as this, the role will be going to increase further. In fact, one of the MOUs signed during the visit of Honorable Prime Minister of Malaysia to India was, it is called MOU in the field of digital technologies. Under this, we have launched what is called as the Malaysia India Digital Council. It's a government-to-government collaboration. I think from Malaysia's perspective, if I understand correctly, it is for the first time Malaysia has signed at the government-to-government level. So is India. In fact, it is the second at the G2G level. And here, what we are trying to do is not just the government officials between the two countries, but also bring in the industry players and the chambers to come in and collaborate so that the best out of the two countries' collaboration can be represented and implemented in the coming months in this year. Second aspect is, of course, Malaysia has assumed the chair of ASEAN, and it's right through, we're in the middle of it, we just crossed half of it. And in fact, our theme for this year is called ASEAN Matters, the Inclusivity at the Heart. And this is the natural synergy between what we call India's Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative, we call IPOI, and ASEAN's as well as Malaysia's own national priorities, especially in digital transformation, green economy, and human capital development. In this context, both the governments of India and Malaysia are working together across multiple verticals to translate this synergy into concrete outcomes. I just wish to add here, in fact, the colleagues from MTech are also here in the room, I can see, and they are also working towards the commitment that has been made by Indian ICT companies in August last year to train 5,000 Malaysians in the fields which are mentioned in the digital areas. In fact, I do understand that as we're coming into the second year, over 2,000 have been already trained, and they're reaching towards 5,000 very shortly, certainly much before 2030. Similarly, we have also agreed as two governments to, I want to emphasize this point so that you understand the backdrop, and I'm sure your discussions can become a little more productive in that context. For example, Government of India has offered 200 what we call them as Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation training programs in India, which are running from 6 weeks to 8 weeks. We are going to train in, for example, the National Center for Good Governance, where in fact 100 Malaysians, middle to senior level bureaucrats who are at senior positions will be traveling to India, which the first batch has already traveled, 25 of them. They will be trained, rather exposed, let's not use the word training, but exposed to what is the digital governance that is happening in India. It means, as you know, there is a digital revolution that's taking place. And in fact, I'm very happy that one of the pioneers is with us today, the Honorable Minister of Digital and IT of State Government, Tamil Nadu. I think he himself has been championing this cause for a few years. And we have many such shining examples of how digital cooperation, digital technologies to be embedded in our digital governance in India. It is in this context they will be exposed to several initiatives in India. Similarly, we are also trying to train another 100 of Malaysian, I will use the word, officials who are associated with the challenges that are presented by virtue of we as governments exposing the public to digital, let's say, tools. Are we protecting enough? So cyber security is at the heart of it. It is here, we are training, for example, Royal Malaysian Police, 50 of them perhaps will travel to India. Similarly, Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission under Tan Sri Azam Baki's leadership, another 50 odd of them will be traveling. In fact, over 50 of them will be going during this month to India to be exposed to the latest technologies in the digital forensics as well as cyber security. We have many examples where both the governments not just talking to each other but trying to implement some of the initiatives so that the individuals who are associated with the digital technologies get exposure to each other's technologies and other complementarities that exist. Similarly, let me come down to beyond the governments. Another initiative that was taken last year during the visit of Honorable Prime Minister of Malaysia was how do we connect the private sector and industry in a more productive and a constructive way. It is here the NASSCOM, as you know, National Association of Software and Service Companies of India. They have signed an MOU with MDEC, the Malaysian Digital Economy Corporation, and they are now looking at essentially looking at new initiatives at the government level, because MDEC, as you know, is part of Ministry of Digital, and they are both a regulatory body as well as a promotion agency in the country. Similarly, NASSCOM is working with, signed an MOU with PCOM. As you know, PCOM is Malaysia's National Tech and IT Associations. I do know that there are over 1,000 Malaysian companies which are members of this. They have signed an MOU last year to create significant opportunities for Malaysia's digital economy, really reinforcing the national standing in the global tech landscape. In fact, a 20-member delegation, IT delegation from NASSCOM came to Malaysia last November, and they had in fact participated in PCOM's, what we call the annual leadership summit, wherein the exposure was really to look at how both the chambers can collaborate in a way that they can identify the new strands of development in the ICT field and take it to the next level. Let them come to the next level, which is of the presence of the Indian ICT companies in Malaysia. I've been part of I tell our colleagues from MDEC that I've been part of Malaysia's Cyber Jaya story way back in 2006 to 10 period. That's the first time, large number of Indian ICT companies started coming in and established their not only what we call their offices, but also global centers, global service centers in Malaysia. Today we have, you name it, the top ICT majors of India, for example, HCL Technologies, TCS, Wipro, Tech Mahindra, they're all here strengthening the footprint of India's ICT in Malaysia. They're not only, as I said, serving global clients from here, but also actively contributing to talent, upskilling and local job creation in alignment with Malaysia's National Digital Economy Blueprint, which is called My Digital. Now comes the role of BRIDGE in Malaysia. It is here, I believe, ICT Academy is well placed to contribute to Malaysia's human capital development goals. As I see it, particularly the core strength that you have, whether it is digital upskilling and certifications, faculty development, innovation and startup mentoring, and including rural and community outreach development initiatives, where I know the government of Malaysia is really trying to introduce the digital technologies in a big way so that the benefits reaches much faster. It is in this broader context, friends, I see the role of ICT Academy of India becoming absolutely relevant and also very apt. Honorable Minister and friends, India and Malaysia are also looking to increase their collaboration in semiconductor sector. This is a big segment in itself. As you're all aware that the private sector has already been playing a very important role in connecting the semicon industries. A large number of Indian professionals, by the way, are coming to Malaysia. I was with the Chief Minister of Penang last month, as well as the Minister dealing with the EXCO member dealing with the IT matters. They're really looking forward to more and more professionals to be required for the industry, in particularly the semicon sector. As you know, many Malaysian companies, in fact, are pioneers in the OSAT facilities, and they're collaborating with their counterparts in India. So this is another area where certainly the ICT or the technologies are going to be very important. Another area we're collaborating is in the startups. Under this framework, we have launched what is called as India-Malaysia Startup Alliance. It is in the works, I must say, but they're trying to integrate the ecosystems of startups, which is going to be an important driver. I just want to add one word about the startups in India. we had barely about 500 startups, say about 7-8 years back. Today, I was just looking at the dashboard, 180,000 startups have been recognized by the Government of India. And again, there is a very important role by the state governments in India in promoting the startups, and certainly the state government of Tamil Nadu is also having a very pioneering role in that context. Well friends, it is this transformative, I call the age of relations between India and Malaysia. As you know, we are both vibrant democracies and knowledge-driven economies we are trying to develop. Thereby, I think I see there is a lot of natural partnership coming in. Of course, I would like to here mention a significant and very important role by the state government of Tamil Nadu. As you know, the second largest Indian diaspora is in Malaysia, and majority of them are Tamil speaking. Though I must add here, there are 7 other Indian languages still being practiced at the 3rd and 4th generations in Malaysia. These are the Indian languages which are there, but Tamil is the most popular and most widely spoken. Hence, what I would like to say is that the general expectation of the Malaysian Indian diaspora is also to connect well with the state government of Tamil Nadu in several ways. And I'm very confident that this new strand that we are looking at by way of connecting the ICT related through ICT Academy will add a new chapter. And I'm very encouraged to see the presence of such large number of universities from India as well as in Malaysia which are collaborating in this particular important conference. Well friends, as we chart a collaborative path forward, I'm very confident that all stakeholders from ministries to universities, startups to multinationals, I'm sure will leverage platforms like BRIDGE to co-create solutions, build talent pipelines, and foster a culture of continuous innovation. Several digital initiatives, which I mentioned earlier, launched between India and Malaysia, provide the right atmosphere where conferences and initiatives such as BRIDGE will have the potential so that the benefits can be maximized. I once again commend the leadership of ICT Academy and the partners who are here with them for envisioning this particular initiative to be held in Malaysia, and I'm very confident that it will be a success. I'm very confident, and the High Commission of India is here to support the state government of Tamil Nadu as well as the ICT Academy of India in their efforts in building these bridges as through the BRIDGE initiative. With these words, thank you. Terima kasih. Nandri Vanakkam.
Thank you once again to Your Excellency for always giving us inspiring and kind words. Before inviting our guest of honor to address us, we are delighted to present a special cultural performance that reflects the diverse heritage and spirit of our host country, Malaysia. Please welcome to the stage Lestari Tun Raza. our guest of honor, Honorable Dr. Palanivel Thiagarajan, Minister for Information Technology and Digital Services, Government of Tamil Nadu, India, to give his welcome address and officiate the conference. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screen for a short introduction.
Dr. Palanivel Thiagarajan, Honorable Minister for Information Technology and Digital Services, Government of Tamil Nadu. Dr. Palanivel Thiagarajan is the MLA for Madurai Central constituencies in the 15th and 16th Legislative Assemblies of Tamil Nadu. He currently serves as the Minister for Information Technology and Digital Services, Government of Tamil Nadu. Dr. Rajan previously worked as an international investment banker for many years in several trading, market sales and management roles at Lehman Brothers, New York and Standard Chartered Bank, Singapore, where he last served as Senior Managing Director, Financial Markets, overseeing the sales of several fixed income products globally. Prior to banking, his career spanned academia, agriculture, consulting, manufacturing and research. He did his MBA in Financial Management from MIT Sloan School of Management, Cambridge. He was a lecturer at State University of New York, Buffalo, with expertise in simulation and stochastic models, biomechanics and human information processing. In the State University of New York, he completed his PhD in Engineering Psychology and MS in Operations Research with specialization in stochastic modeling. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Dr. Palanivel Thiagarajan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Minister for Information Technology and Digital Services.
Thank you very much for that very long and gracious introduction, and thank you for inviting me to be part of this historic event. I'm happy to be here, joined by Mr. Srikanth, our Chief Executive Officer of ICT Academy, our gracious co-host, the Chief Executive Officer of EMGS, my new friend, fellow financial services professional, Novi Tajuddin, our brilliant and erudite High Commissioner, His Excellency Shri B.N. Reddy, who I have the great fortune of meeting again, the many distinguished people here from the Government of Malaysia or EMGS, our partners IEG, who are helping us put this conference together, the team from HCL, led by my university junior and now very senior executive, Srimati Shiv Shankar, of the corporate vice president. And then the many distinguished speakers who are here today, as well as the many representatives of academic institutions. I see some of my friends from India. I'm told there are many also from Malaysia. It is a wonderful day for us because in this 16th year of our existence as ICT Academy, this is the first time we're doing a bridge conference internationally. So it's a proud moment for us, and thank you to everybody in Malaysia for hosting us here for this inaugural event. In some sense, this is the right time for this. Everything happens at the right time. And our Excellency, the High Commissioner has already given us a very clear understanding of the history and how we got here. And I'll say a little bit more about it, but later. But I think the most important things that I see contextually today, the first is that clearly from a technology standpoint, we are at a new kind of beginning of an S-curve. We're at some inflection point in terms of AI, and because of what I would consider the true difference in AI this time, as opposed to all the previous comings of AI. This time it is that we have almost infinite data generation and storage, and we have the capacity to get very high amounts of computing power on demand through cloud services. So now AI can go to the masses, AI can be used by startups, AI can be leveraged by common citizens. And so this era of AI is definitely different from the last or the many last ones, and it is going to be transformational. But in some sense, I also think this era makes us question, like many have before, if the machine can do a lot of things that we used to need to program or need to develop, what is it that makes humans still relevant beyond the intelligence of machines? And what that means really is working backwards from university education all the way to elementary education. How should we be changing the nature of education and the trajectory of development of skill or cognition or humanity? And I was reminded that when I was in one of my jobs at Standard Chartered Bank, I used to come once in a while to KL because I was global head of a few products. But every time I traveled, I made sure I went back to headquarters in Singapore at least once every 10 days. I was traveling all the time, maybe 200 days a year. But I made sure I was back in headquarters. And people ask me, why is it so vital that you should be back in headquarters? And I said, I get more done going up and down the floors of my headquarters building than I could by 100 emails or 50 phone calls. The human element in being able to meet somebody, explain something, get something sorted, get it approved, that really made the job kind of successful. And that aspect is going to remain no matter how much we can do by artificial intelligence. The second and more profound and more rapid development is that the world order as we see it, as we knew it for the last probably 75 years after the Second World War, is under profound change. A lot of the Western democracies, and particularly the US, but also other major Western democracies, under two threats. One of very rapidly declining populations, exclusion the US, is a different problem. And including the US, a lot of kind of resentment where the global integration has resulted in very big separation of haves and have-nots. And you combine that together and you're in a very different kind of era than we were particularly for the last 20-25 years. And it is vital in this new era, I don't know what shape it will take and I don't know how long it will last, but at the early stages of this era, it's very clear that more and more bilateral, more and more regional focus is going to be necessary, and that's in human capital, that's in education training, that's in skilling, that's in trade, that's in investment, all of it. So in that sense, I think today's first global foray for us is at the right time in these global trends. ICT Academy, as you know, though we're a Tamil Nadu-based company, for many reasons, we are by far the biggest government-run and most successful training academy in India. We have offices in 9 or 10 states, and we run these conferences in 14 or 15 places around the country. We have about 1,800 universities as our partners, of which about 800 or so are in Tamil Nadu and the rest are in other parts of the country. It goes to show that when you do something well, everybody is good to sign up with you. Of course, Tamil Nadu has some unique characteristics. I don't have to say much about it, but I'll say only 2-3 things. In the field of education, we are by far in scale and impact one of the biggest parts of India. We have about 5.8% of the population. Economy is quite good. It's maybe about 9 to 10% of India's GDP. But from an education perspective, because we have a long history of universal access and inclusion, we produce something around 20% of India's tech graduates annually. And we have probably 20% of any measure, top universities, top colleges, top research institutions, number of patents, any of those things. So it's the right place for us to start the outreach. And in the case of Malaysia, of course, we have huge historic ties going back hundreds of years, in fact going back a millennia more. And in particular, in the era of EMGS and the great leadership, I'm told that two amazing things have happened. One is that in the last 4 or 5 years, the number of international students here has gone up from about 90,000 to more than 140,000, which is a tremendous achievement and has taken so much attention to detail, including, for example, the announcement today of the 1-year post-graduation visa, which are, really thoughtful measures that make a meaningful difference, especially as the rest of the world is getting harder and harder for international students, places like the US and Canada and Australia. So social fabric is disrupting the notion of international education. Then places like Malaysia, I think, are the beneficiary. Also, I think that the staff training is such a wonderful initiative. When I first heard about this, of the civil servants being given special training in various aspects, I can say from my own experience, both in my current portfolio as well as in my old portfolio of finance and pensions and human resources and planning development, that across all democracies in the world, the functional capability of government has not kept up with the needs of society and the complexity of administration. Most corporates do it because it's a competitive market. Either you compete or you get taken over by somebody else, you lose market share, you lose profit. Most governments, because they're monopolies, unless there's some kind of stress, they're not investing enough in infrastructure, technology, and skilling. And I'm glad to see such a visionary leadership here in Malaysia that ahead of time, they're finding all these things that need to be upgraded from a connectivity, global perspective, including possibly understanding and skills. But the fact that many batches have gone, I think, is remarkable and something that all governments all over the world ought to replicate. The notion of bridge at its inception was about bridging academia and industry. Some countries do this particularly well. I lived 20 years in the US. I would say the US at every level, from community colleges to the top research universities like MIT, had figured out a way of integrating the local economy, the local needs of human capital and talent, and the local academic institutions. And that, in my view, if you get that right, that is actually a multiplier of growth and accelerator of GDP development. But in this case, though we started with that notion in India, I would say over the years, 2-3 things have become apparent to us. One is that we're also going now bridging state to state. 1,000 of our colleges are from outside Tamil Nadu. Also facilitating kind of government, industry, academia, tripartite relationships such as this one, which I think is vital to the future. And I know that of the many efforts that EMGS undertakes, IEG is also a good partner, and it would require all of us to come together to do these things. Conferences, of course, are good opportunities for many dimensional kind of connectivity. I like the theme of this conference. I think is appropriate in terms of AI skills and global progress. It is appropriate for the time, but I'm also very happy to note that one of the pillars of the discussions will be women in AI, inclusion in design, inclusion by design. Because I think the notion of inclusion, of universal participation, is at the heart of real progress. And wherever we have seen comparative studies, whether that is in India, where we compare Tamil Nadu to other states that haven't had such a good history, or we compare democracies that are more inclusive and more compact, that you don't allow the gap between rich and poor to get too high. These tend to show much better quality of life, much better indices, performance on indices. So for all those reasons, I think this is a brilliant first foray for us in terms of ICT Academy and of Tamil Nadu. I hope it's the first of many to come. I thank all of you for being part of this event, historic event for us. I hope you'll find the conference interesting. More importantly, I hope you'll make a lot of connections from the other brilliant delegates who are here. As much of conferences is about meeting people and the social network that is built as it is about what's said on stage. So for all those reasons, I hope this turns out to be a memorable and productive day for you. Thank you again very much.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Palanivel. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been truly honored to hear from our esteemed guests. Leaders, missionaries who have shared invaluable insights into the future of education and technology. As a gesture of our deepest gratitude, we would like to present tokens of appreciation to our VIPs for their time, their wisdom, and their contribution to this conference. May I invite Mr. Srikan of ICT Academy to present the tokens of appreciation, and accompanied by Mr. Tamil of IEG Campus. First, may I kindly invite Mr. Novi Tajudin, Chief Executive Officer, Education Malaysia Global Services, EMGS. Sir, please kindly take the stage to receive the token. There is also a request to call Madam Srimadi to come on the stage to accompany our VIPs. Thank you, Mr. Novi. Mr. Novi, would you kindly stay on the stage too? Next, may I kindly invite His Excellency Shri B.N. Reddy, High Commissioner of Malaysia. Sir, please kindly go on the stage. And finally, may I kindly invite our guest of honor, the Honorable Dr. Palanivel Thiagarajan, Minister for Information Technology and Digital Services, Government of Tamil Nadu, India, to come on stage and receive the token. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the audience, can you please give a big round of applause? Thank you so much to Mr. Tamil and Mr. Srikan, and also to our honorable guests. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now break for tea and light refreshments. Are you excited for that? This is also a wonderful opportunity to connect with our fellow delegates, speakers, and guests. You are most welcome to bring your food into the hall, or you can also have it outside while you visit our booths. And please take this time to relax, refresh, and connect with each other. And also, can I request our moderators for the panel session to come to the side of the hall? We have a quick discussion. Thank you very much. We will resume in 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Please enjoy your refreshments.
government.